getting associated with the Chinese Historical Society, I started writing stories. And stories about China, my mom's village, my dad's village. So after writing the stories, I had an interest to go back to China. And I visited the village. And it was very touching in that it connected me to the roots. And I didn't think that it would affect me that much. And after visiting my mom's village, I know about their hardships. And 2 days after I went to my mom's village, I actually broke down. I had a good cry with my brothers. It kind of hit me. It hit me because the hardships my parents went through, my grandfather went through, I didn't really appreciate it until after I visited my mom's village. Not so much with my dad's village, but more so with my mom's village.
Wow. Thank you. I think I want to ask you one more question,
sure.
Because of the time. But what made you? What stood out the most to you about your culture? Like something that you're proud of, or just something that resonates with you in your culture?
I think the more I study Chinese culture, I really appreciate how complex it is. The way the family bonding and the way the language is emphasizes family, and the more I know about my dialect, the Hoiping Cantonese dialect, and I study also Mandarin, so studying more Chinese culture, I start to appreciate the hardships that people went through when they came to Canada. And I start to understand people's behavior, and and I'm trying to do more interviews and stories about people's survival, their stories, more like the real stories, more about stories that I hear, not the mainstream stories. People talk about the sanitized version of where everybody's hardworking and Chinese people, are quiet, conservative, and I know a lot of stories about things that people talk about. I heard since I was a little kid. And my YouTube channel, Chinese Canadian Roots TV, I'm actually recording some of the stories, and find the roots of stories, and find true stories.
I can only imagine that powerful moment and realization for you. There's a calling for you to go back to your parents' village and to go back to China. To me, it sounds like it was also like you're thirsty of more more information, but also it's like a healing process of connecting everything together at the same time.
I think you put it very correctly. That's true. I was kind of like a bit of each culture, but I wasn't connected. So a lot of ways people say, well, you're really like a white person. And then other people would say, well, you're really Chinese. And now when people say, well, you're really Chinese, I'm thinking, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now I'm kind of blended together, so the total package is, I don't know if people like to say Chinese Canadian, but I consider myself Chinese Canadian, and hence my YouTube site, Chinese Canadian Roots TV. So it goes with that theme.
Well, thank you so much, Dan, for sharing that. I really appreciate your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.